The history of the peaceful life of the Pygmy nation, the victim of racism. If you hear the word Pygmy, maybe because of the conventional social propaganda, most people will recognize it as a ridiculous dwarf race. Pygmies have often been portrayed as barbaric, uncivilized, and terrifying apes. Is that what the Pygmies really are? From today's video we will know the real history of Pygmies. Friends who have not yet subscribed to the Microscope channel must subscribe and hold down the bell icon. And many thanks to those who have subscribed. History of the name Pygmy. Pygmy is not the name of an indigenous group. The word is derived from the Greek language meaning small. And according to this calculation, it is possible to call everyone small in shape a pygmy. The name Pygmy was given to small tribals as a joke, and this is the name by which they became known. Later small populations in physical size were identified by this name. These small groups are scattered in different forests of the world. Because temperate forests are the habitat of pygmies. Pygmy abode. Pygmy is an umbrella term. That is, the word is used as a common name for many branches. Pygmy is the collective identity of many short groups. These groups have their own names. Many think that their home is in Africa, but they exist not only in Africa, but also in Asia, and Australia. In addition to the Congo Basin, Pygmies are found in various parts of Malaysia, the Philippines, Papua New Guinea, and the Andaman Islands. Some notable Pygmy indigenous groups are aka Baka, Africa, Beauty, Negrito, South Asia, etc. It is said that they are the most primitive people in the world. They exist 30,000 years old. Historians believe that evidence of their existence dates back to the beginning of the New Stone Age, and they have lived in the jungle since the beginning of their existence. Pygmies are predators by profession. Their only desire is a peaceful life in the forest. They do not want to leave the jungle and come to the plains, and they want to protect the forest with their lives. The height of the Pygmies. Adult Pygmies have an average height of 4 feet 11 inches. Many researchers believe that Pygmies have low growth hormone levels, which is why they do not grow taller after the age of 13. Their physical size is reduced by the urge to adapt, as this makes it easier to adapt to the forest. The nature of Pygmies. Regardless of location, Pygmies are nomadic, predatory, and peace-loving. Music or melody covers a huge part of their lives. Their songs and festivals have a primitive, unique form. Since Pygmy refers to many types of indigenous peoples, they do not have a common language. The language of the Pygmies varies from society to place. For example, Baka Pygmies speak Baka language. Let's get to know some of the Pygmy tribes by culture now. Baka Pygmy. All kinds of Pygmy tribes live in the green of the forest. Bakas also live in temperate jungles. They are found in the jungles of Congo or Cameroon on the African continent. They can also be seen near the river near the forest. They range in height from 120 to 150 centimeters. The name of the house is like a tent made of leaves. They make such tent-like houses with a combination of leaves and twigs of different trees. Among them, marriage is not so prevalent. Again, polygamy is not so prevalent. The Baka Africans, like most indigenous people, lead a nomadic life. Their real job is to hunt. In addition, there is a practice of fishing among women. Most of the time they spend in the forest, and don't talk to people in the surrounding area without need. The language of the Bakas is similar to that of the Bantu, a neighboring tribal group, but their uniqueness is in the songs and ceremonies. Baka is a very fun community. The music is always going on among themselves. In addition to hunting, deaf children learn to compose tunes or songs from their parents. They believe in spiritualism. The name of their spiritual god is Zengi. Gengi is a forest god. Bakara dances and sings to please this forest god. Their supreme god is called Kamba. The grief of the Barca community is that for a long time this group has been oppressed by the surrounding and relatively long Bantu group. It is unknown at this time what he will do after leaving the post. Many tortures were carried out considering the Bakers as second-class people for their shape. Many Bantu men marry Barca women, but that marriage does not last because of the height. Eventually, Barca came back to the forest with her children and lived there. Wild lice are the natural enemy of Barca. If these lice are not cleaned, paralysis often occurs. The existence of these Barcas is in crisis today due to indiscriminate deforestation. It goes without saying that there are not enough agencies and initiatives to help them. The Barca tribes have been fighting against man and nature on their own. Buta or Mbt, the Beauties, live in a forest called Ituri in the northeastern part of the Congo. It is said that they have lived in the area for the past 2,000 years. People in the Beauty community believe in mutual cooperation. They live in harmony with the people of the surrounding villages. It also builds some transactional relationship with them. Since they live in the forest most of the time, they help the people of the neighboring village from inside the forest. They collect honey for them or take their necessities in exchange for meat. Beauties want to stay away from quarrels at any cost. It is known that when they get involved in a dispute, the dispute is resolved through laughter. They mumble until the end of the argument. Until they get a smile. They are grouped. For the sake of their own existence, they avoid any quarrel among themselves. They don't even take into account their inner conflict just to stay away from this trouble. Beauty's livelihood depends on prey. The use of those famous poison arrows can be seen among them. Arrows and bows are their favorite weapons. They hunt monkeys. They even know the technique of hunting many large elephants in size from themselves. The best thing about this group is that there is no class distinction, no gender. They live in a society of true equality, where women have no chance of being looked down upon. Women participate in hunting equally with men. Men and women take part in different events in different groups. In this case, when the men are ahead, any one of them leaves the women's team at their own risk. Women do the same. In this way they always maintain equality. Beauties also believe in spiritualism. Forests and wild nature are very important to them. Their spiritual life is called Malimo, which means Song of the Jungle. Music covers a huge part of them. They have special types of bows, drums, flutes, etc. for musical pursuits. Several successive wars have become very dangerous for the existence of this group. Negrit. The Negrits are said to be a Pygmy nation in South Asia. They live in the Andaman Islands in addition to the Philippines, Malaysia. They are identified as Pygmy because of their short stature, hair and black complexion. It is said that many years ago, they came from Africa and started living in this region. There is a difference between Malaysian and Filipino Pygmies. It is also said that the Malaysian Pygmy is closer to the Andaman Islands. Negrit of the Philippines, they are very few in number, a total of maybe 15,000. They live on different islands like Panay, Mindanao, Negro, etc. The national language of the Philippines is their spoken language. Like other Pygmies, Negroes believe in spiritualism. However, with the passage of time, many are now leaning towards Christianity. Racism towards the Pygmies. The description of the Pygmies did not come very positively anywhere, starting from the literature. From the Aristotle Homer to the description of the 100-year-old European tourist Hercules, the Pygmies came only as a small group. Pygmy, the victim of genocide. This nation has always been a victim of racism for its shape and skin color. Even video games have been made with them, where everyone enjoys killing Pygmies. Even in 1900, Pygmies were captured and exhibited in Belgium. The history of keeping female Pygmies as sex slaves is also quite common and old. There is evidence that 1/3 of Pygmies were killed during the Rwandan genocide. Pygmies are the primitive existence of the earth. But today their existence is in danger. Peace-loving Pygmies still want to live a peaceful life in the middle of the forest, but external problems are hindering their way of life. This peace-loving tribal group of the forest is constantly a victim of injustice, oppression and injustice. If action is not taken to protect their rights at this moment, if the hand of cooperation is not extended to them, then perhaps the most primitive group in the world will soon become extinct. If you like today's video, please like, comment and stay with us.